Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Visiting Lecture today with University Malaysia Perlis. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Adila Ismail as a Senior Lecturer, Communication Department, Faculty of Business and Communication. And for the topic today is Speak to Connect Communication Skill for Meaningful Relationship. And for today's session is being live streamed on the Universitas Tekom YouTube channel. And now I will read our agenda the afternoon. First, we will start class presentation delivered by Dr. Adila and continue with the Q&A session. In the next session, we have time for documentation unless time is closing. Okay, let's begin. We will start class presentation delivered by Dr. Adila. The time is yours. Thank you.
All right, hi everybody. Okay, I think some of you have already seen me before. All right, thank you so much to Miss Novita as well as Techcom for inviting me again. Okay, all right. So our title or our lecture today would be, let me share my presentation first. Wait, yeah. How do I share my presentation? I click share, is it? Wait. Oh, okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see the screen now, Miss Novita? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so our topic, my title for my lecture today, okay, is Speak to Connect Communication Skills for Meaningful Relationships. All right, so basically, I think we all need the connection. Am I right? We all, when we see each other, when we are together with our friends, with our colleagues, with our classmates, with our lecturers, with our families, of course, we want some sort of connection. Okay. So even sometimes with the strangers that we interact with, okay, we also want them to hear us, to understand us, and to understand what we are trying to convey. So, of course, today we are going to explore something that we do it every day. All right, but we are going to dig deeper into how we can do it better. All right, because communicating doesn't just help us to communicate our idea, but it also helps us to build some sort of relationship. Okay, so whether you are going to start today, whether you want to be a better listener or resolve conflicts more peacefully, or just to connect with your friends, your family, or anybody more deeply, I hope you can find something today that you can use right away. All right, so for the next slide, we are going to begin with a very simple but a powerful question. Why communication matters so much? Okay, so as you can see there in my screen, okay, the research tells us that 87% of successful relationships, that is almost 9 out of 10, okay, point to communication as the most important factor in a relationship. Okay, so we have to remember that not only love, not only chemistry, not only shared interest or understanding, okay, but we have to be able to talk, listen, as well as to understand each other. All right. However, on the flip side, in the workplace, 60% of conflicts are caused by poor communication. Okay, not laziness, not bad intention, not arguments. Okay, but just because people are not expressing themselves clearly, or maybe sometimes they are not listening well. All right, so miscommunication happens a lot in workplace. So that is why 60% of conflict are caused by poor communication. All right, and here is another interesting fact. We spend on average 3.5 hours single day to communicate with other people. So 3.5 hours is actually a large piece of our life. All right, because every day we sleep for about 8 hours, depending on and what kind of type of what time of sleep do you need. All right, and we have about 16 hours of waking up. Okay, So 3.5 to communicate is a lot actually. So of course, because we just we spend it talking to each other doesn't mean that we are doing it effectively. So of course you have to remember that good communication is more than just about exchanging the words. All right, it is about conveying meaning, about understanding someone's feelings, their intention, and what are there behind just the words that is being said. So of course, when we do this well, we are going to build trust. All right. So we create some sort of place or a space where people around us feel safe and being heard as well as being valued. Okay. So that is the foundation of the uh of uh of the most important or a very meaningful relationship. So of course, in relationship, communication is what matters the most. Okay. All right. For this next slide, we are going to talk about listening. So listening is really the heart of every connection. Okay, because in order for you to communicate well, first you need to listen. Okay, listen. So we often think of communication as about only talking. Okay, but actually the important part is actually to listen, which is really listen, not just hear. We hear things a lot, but when I talk about listen, okay, listening is when you really understand what that particular person is sending to you. What is the actual message? Okay, so listening and hearing is something very different. Okay, for example, if you are in one class, in a class, so you are listening to your professor or your lecturer giving some sort of lecture to you. So you are focusing there. And then suddenly your phone rings. Okay, your phone rings, but you still are looking at your lecturer and then you just silent your phone. Okay, so even though you are hearing the your phone ringing, but you do not like focusing on that, you are listening to what your lecturer is saying. So you see, that is the difference between hearing and listening. All right. Okay, so we are going to go to the important part in listening. All right, so the first one is the presence. So this means being fully in the moment. You have to be there. All right, you have to not be distracted. Okay, not when you are speaking to somebody, you have to like really sit in front of them and try to understand what they are saying to you, not by scrolling through your phone, okay, not mentally writing, okay, or just being there fully with the person in front of you. So this is the most important part, which is presence. Okay, sometimes I think right now, most of the time when I talk to other people, okay, sometimes they are multitasking, okay, they are like holding their phone, even though I am talking to them. Okay, this happens a lot with my students, with my even my family members also. All right, so sometimes I don't feel heard. I feel like whatever it is that I am saying to them, I'm not being heard. Okay, another example that I can give you is my son. Okay, he is very small. He is just 7 years old. So sometimes when he tried to speak to me, little children very excited, right? Okay, mommy, mommy, ni, and then I just reply WhatsApp on my phone. So sometimes, okay, he will say to me, because children they are honest, right? So he will just say, Mommy, stop texting. I want to talk to you. Even little children can feel when we are not listening to them. Right? So, of course, presence is very important. The next one is attention. So, this is about giving someone your undivided focus. All right. So you are not just hearing them, you are also absorbing, understanding what they are saying. Okay. As well as you are looking at their body language and as well as their tone. Okay. So this is where a lot of people fail to do. Okay. Sometimes when you are talking to another person, okay, and then you ask them a question. Are you okay if we do our assignment like this? I want to do this topic. Okay, and then you just hear your friend say, okay, I don't mind. Okay, I agree. But you are not looking at his or her verbal language. Okay, non-verbal language. I'm sorry. Okay, non-verbal language. So sometimes even though they are saying okay, but maybe their face feels sad or their gesture shows they are not comfortable, you know. So you have to listen with everything, not only what they are saying, but also their responses, okay, their tones, you know. So, of course, you have to really listen actively and giving your attention. And last but not least, key is understanding. So, of course, here you are not just listening so that you can reply. You are listening so that you can understand. That is very different. So when we listen actively, we are putting aside our own thoughts, our judgments, even our need to be right. Okay, sometimes when you are listening to other people, even some of the points you are not agree with them. All right, it's okay. Just stop and listen to what they are going to say first. Okay, even though you think that okay, I am right, that person is wrong, but try to listen first. Okay, so that we can just like being present for that person. Okay, this can create some sort of safety and can create connection as well. Okay, so of course we can show our that we are listening through small simple actions where we can like keep eye contact. Okay, sometimes when they are saying, we say yes or not. Okay, sometimes when you are on the phone, right, so you are okay, next. Okay, after that, you know, those small simple actions to show that you are focusing. Okay, and of course, please do not plan your response while that person is still talking. Let them finish first. Let them be heard. Okay, so this is where the connection starts. Okay, all right. So next we are going to talk about empathy. So if listening is the heart of the connection, empathy is the soul. So of course, empathetic communication uh, is something that happens when we make an effort to see the world through someone else's eyes. We don't have to agree with them, but we have to try to understand them. So, how do we do this? The first thing is it starts with recognizing emotions. So, not just the words they are saying, but the feelings underneath. Maybe someone says, I'm fine, but you can hear the frustrations or sadness in their tone. So, this is what we want to tune into. All right, next comes to validate experiences, okay, the validation. So this means we are acknowledging their feelings. Even though we cannot like understand 100% of what they are feeling, all right? But it's like it's almost seems like we are saying that, okay, I can see why you are saying that way, why you are feeling that way. Instead of you just give your response or just like brushing off, get off, like, okay, I don't agree with you. Okay, this is my point. No. All right. So of course you have to validate their feelings. All right. Next, we have to respond thoughtfully. So let's say the other person have some sort of problem and they come to you to to tell you or to share their feelings. Okay, maybe they have some personal issues, maybe financial issues, family issues, relationship issues. Okay, a lot of issues they want to share with you. So of course, before we want to offer some sort of solutions, okay, we have to take a moment to reflect what we hear. Okay, like for example, if your friend come to you and say they have problem with assignment, okay, so you don't just respond, okay, so what do you want? Okay, you want to see my assignment, is it? You know, so sometimes that person only maybe wants to tell you without asking for your help. Okay, maybe just want to share, or maybe they want you to help them, not just to copy your assignment. But sometimes, most of the time, this is what I said just now. In workplace, a lot of problem or conflicts happen because of miscommunication. All right. So, before we respond, we have to think back what that other person really wants from us. Okay. And by that, we can finally create safety. So here we have to let other person know that it is okay to be vulnerable with you. Okay. Please let them know that you won't judge them. You won't like dismiss them, or you won't think negatively about them. Okay, so empathy it's very important where it can some sort of building a bridge between you and the other person. So it can turn simple conversations into some sort of healing experiences. Okay, and here you don't need like sometimes when you have problems, right? You think that you have to go and see counselor, go and see therapists, right? Psychologists. Okay, but if you really if you have the ability to really listen to other people, you don't need to see them. Maybe you can find somebody who has that particular skills and then you can confide in them. Okay, and please, if possible, you can be that person too. Okay, if you have a great listening skills, of course people would want to go and talk to you. Okay, and it is not that I am saying that all of us wants to know each other's problem or other person's secret, right? But it is some sort of fulfilling, okay, or soothing when we know that another person is like depending on you or they are trusting you with their problems. So I think I am one of that person, okay, because a lot of my friends and my family members, when they have problems, they will come to me. Okay, it is not that because I am a great I am a great problem solver. No, okay. I think it is because I tend to listen. I just listen to their problems. Sometimes I don't give solution. I just give them support, Okay, I understand what you feel. Okay, maybe you need to calm down a bit. Okay, so those are the things that I say to them. All right. Because as a person, we cannot know everything. So what we can do is we try to make ourselves better in order for us to like connect with other people. Okay, right. The next slide is about nonverbal communication. So nonverbal communication is actually something that is not spoken. Okay, as you can see there, I put some sort of elements in nonverbal communication, and the first one is eye contact. So eye contact is very, very important. So when we have a good eye contact, okay, it shows that we are present and we shows interest. We are present. Are paying attention. Okay, but of course you don't. I said eye contact. It doesn't mean you have to like stare like. No. Okay. So eye contact means when other person is speaking, you are connecting with them. Okay. So of course, you can like, when you are talking to somebody, sometimes you are looking here and there. Even I am talking to you also, I'm not only looking at the camera. Okay. Sometimes I look at my slides here. Sometimes I look at my phone. Sometimes I look at the surroundings. I I believe that when I'm thinking, I tend to look up all the time. When I'm thinking, I tend to look up or I tend to look down. I know myself. So I think in order for you to become a good communicator, of course, you have to know what is your weakness and your strength, like that. So next we have body language. Okay, so body language can reveals like true feelings. Okay, our posture, okay, how we sit, our gestures, how we react, even the way we hold our arms also, our hands also can show your intention or what you are thinking. Okay, so if you are sitting with your arms crossed like this, okay, cross. Okay, I cannot like really show you because I'm very close to the monitor. Okay, because if I'm far away, you cannot see other things I'm trying to show. Okay, if you cross your arms like this, it shows that very different message than if you are sitting like really relaxed. So of course, body language can show your true feelings and the true meaning. Right. Next is tone of voice. So tone of voice is very important too as it conveys emotion and intent. So in fact, research says it makes up of 38% of how our message is interpreted. All right. So here your tone can say, I care about you. Okay. I understand what you feel, or it can be like, I'm annoyed with you, even if the words themselves don't. For example, you are asking your friend something. Okay, I think this is the the example that I keep on giving my students all the time. You ask your friend, where do you want to eat? Okay, your friend said, I don't mind. I don't mind, up to you, you decide. Your friend said like that. So you said, okay, you don't you let me decide. Okay. So uh okay. And then you said, okay, let's go to eat KFC. And then your friend said, okay. So even though she or he said okay, but the tone of voice is very different. So if you really focus, if you really listen, you can understand that that is not what he or she is really saying. Maybe he is not okay with that. So you can ask him or her, are you not okay with KFC? You want to go somewhere else? Like that. Okay. All right. So if he or she said, okay, even though the same word, okay, okay, and okay, all right, so it gives different meaning. So of course, you have to really understand. So this situation happens a lot in marriage. Okay, especially on the wife. Girls girls are complicated. So sometimes when the husband or the boyfriend asks, do you want some snack? So the girl said, no, I don't want any. Okay, so the boy come and bring his snack and is alone. And then the girlfriend will like merajuk, sucking. Why you don't buy for me? Like that. So of course, even though he or she's sorry, your girlfriend or your wife said, I don't want, but you have to like really, really understand whether whether she wants it or not. Like that. So nonverbal communication is very important. Tones of voice is also very important. Okay, and the next one is timing. So a well-placed pause can really impact. Okay, so if you respond too fast, can also seems like you are not interested. Okay, so of course, when we are communicating with each other, we have to give it some time for them to finish talking, for you to take a moment to reflect, and then you can respond appropriately. Okay, so of course, the pause, as you can see here, it can add emphasize, okay, and response speed can also indicate some sort of interest. So if you want to become a communicator, okay, don't just work on your words, but you have also to watch your body, your voice, as well as your energy, okay, because your whole presence is speaking, even when your mouth is not. Okay, so that is why when I believe that even in your university also, when your docent or lecturers ask you to present, okay, when they are giving you rubrics, right, marks for your presentation, it is not just about the content. It is also about your skills of communication. There should be eye contact, there should be nonverbal cues. Those, we have marks for that. Okay. It can also show your confidence during presentation. Okay, your nonverbal language. Okay, next is the barriers. So let's talk about what will get in the way of an effective communication. Okay, because we have to face it. Okay, communication can break down like all the time. Okay, so the first one is emotional reactivity. When emotions run high, logical thinking decreases. Okay, so what does it mean here? When you're angry, anxious, or upset, it is very hard for us to like really think clearly, let alone to speak clearly. So that is why when we are angry, we tend to speak something that we don't really mean. Sometimes you regret what you said just now to that person. Okay, this happens a lot when you are arguing with like your family members, somebody you love. Okay, maybe your mother scolded you, and then you just respond like that. So sometimes you speak like not very good words to those person that you care about, even your friends, your colleague, okay, even your classmates also. So of course, you have to like take a pause before you give your response when you are emotional. Okay, so you have also to acknowledge your feelings before continuing. You don't have to like accept everything. Okay, you have to know that you as a person, you have a right too. Okay, so that is why it is very important for you to just stop for a bit and think clearly, and then you respond. Okay, I used to be somebody who is angry all the time. I'm not like angry all the time. I mean, I respond like really fast to, this one, emotional reactivity for me is a huge problem. So this is like a few years ago. And later on, as I work with a lot of people, okay, I tend to change my way of dealing with conflicts. Okay, before this, if I receive like maybe something, a message or an email that triggers my emotion, I tend to reply right away. But these days, like these few years, okay, after I learned about all of this communication stuff, so what I did is I tend to relax a bit. If I receive some sort of like a message or email that makes me mad, I just stop for a bit. Okay, I don't want to reply, just like right away. Maybe I will reply tomorrow. So you see, the response would be different if you reply now or if you reply later on. Okay, before this, I was the one who will just reply right away without thinking. Even speaking also face to face also, I was a person like that. Okay, but I think these days I'm not saying that I am a good person, no, but I try my best to improve myself. Okay, because I am older now. Okay, and as you are getting older and older, right? So of course we don't want like so many conflicts in our life. We just want peace. We just want to live peacefully. Okay, so what you can do is you just take a pause before you just respond. But again, as I say at the last point there, acknowledge your feelings before continuing. Okay, so of course you need to find a way to present your feelings also as well. Okay, but of course, as I said, if you reply today and reply tomorrow, the responses would be different. Okay, and the second one is assumptions. So here, okay, it said here, we often fill in gaps with our own interpretations rather than seeking clarification. So these assumptions frequently lead to misunderstandings and conflict. All right, so this one is quite tricky actually. Okay, we often fill in the blanks with our own stories. Before you ask that person, you make your own assumption. You make up your stories. Okay, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to her. She must be mad at me. So before asking, you tend to make assumption. So this happens like yesterday. Okay, one of my colleague, another docent, okay, she texted me and said that I need to do something for the student. Okay, and I said, why the student didn't text me herself? Okay, and then the docent said, she's afraid of you. She's afraid you will be mad at her because this is about like some sort of course registration. So she said, because she is doing it late, so she's afraid that I'm going to be mad. Okay, so what I said is, okay, I'm not going to be mad. Ask her to text me directly. Okay, do not use third party like that. Okay, so this is what people do all the time. We make assumptions. So what we should do is we have to ask questions instead of assuming the intent. Okay, we need to ask questions. Also, we have to verify understanding before responding. Okay, so this is similar to before. All right. So, another thing that I can share with you is that this is what happens in my workplace. Okay. So, one staff said something like not really good about another staff. Okay. So let's call the person A. A said something bad about B. So B was really mad. Okay, B was really mad and B was like telling everybody about what A said about him. So what I said to B, I said, okay, B, you have to go confront A. Okay, because when A said something that is considered bad, but A did not mention any name. So I said, maybe he is talking about somebody else. All right, but B said, okay, there's nobody else about on that particular topic. Okay, that must be me, B said. So it's not that I agree with A because whatever A said was like really bad. Okay, he posted it in his social media. So whatever he is saying, he said was bad, and we all know. Okay, we all know that he is saying about B because the traits or the details are so accurate. So we said to B, okay, you have to go see A and settle. Okay, but B refused. So what happens is both of them are not in a good relationship anymore. Okay, so it's like very cool when we go to a meeting because both of them are there. So you see, those are what happens in office. So of course, these things also happens in your families, right? In among your friends, okay? Maybe if in your classes, okay, in your university, it happens a lot. So I mean, don't assume. If you are not sure about something, you go and ask that person. In my opinion, it is better like that. Okay, are you talking about me? Okay, I saw your post in Facebook. Are you talking about me? Is this person me? So I think I'm not asking you to go and argue. No. Okay, just confront it like professionally. Okay. So of course, do not make assumptions. All right, and the next one is the environmental distractions, or in communication it is called noise. Okay, so this can be whether external, like loud noises, something that you hear. Okay, loud noises like just now when I am giving you lecture, my phone rings, right? So what I did is I just ignore. So that is considered as distraction also. Okay, or it can also mean internal noise or internal distractions, meaning like maybe you are tired, maybe you are sleepy, or maybe you are stressed out. Okay, sometimes when you are feeling not okay, maybe when you're hungry, right, and you have to go to class. Okay, sometimes you cannot focus on what your lecturer or your docent is telling you. So that one is internal distraction. Uh, so that is why even myself in my class, I said to my student, okay, I said to them, if you are sleepy, you can sleep in my class. So that is my principle. Not everybody, not every lecturer agrees with my method, but what I said to them is that if you cannot focus, what's the point of you being here? Okay, because yeah, if you are sleepy, you cannot even listening to what your lecturer is saying, right? Even though your eyes are open. So sometimes when students just put their head like this, okay, even though they close their ears are still listening. So I think that is better rather than I force my students to stay awake during my class. So that is my method. All right. So of course, you have to choose like the right time and the right setting. Okay, you have to like when you are talking to somebody, maybe you can silent or just put off your phone, you know. So turn off the notification like just now. My phone rings for a few times, then now I have already silent it. Okay, because it is the distraction for me. Okay, because I am a very busy person, so that is why a lot of person is texting me like all the time. So that is why I have to keep my phone next to me. Okay, but when I am giving you this 1 hour or 2 hours lecture, I need to really focus and try to talk to you. Okay. All right. The next one is the art of asking better questions. So of course we have to talk about questions because we all ask questions every day. But have you ever stopped to think how you are asking them? So this also happens a lot when my students texting me. Okay, their intention was good. Sometimes they are asking, okay, madam or doctor, when is the deadline for our assignment? But the way they ask it seems rude. Okay, because sometimes, most of the time, you guys, the Generation Z, the Gen Z, you are texting your docent, you are texting the elders like you are texting your friends. So I don't blame you because you are living with gadgets your whole life, right? So of course, when you want to communicate, you just take your phone and just text without thinking because you think that that is like how do I say? It's like embedded in your mind, in yourself. Okay, but you have to remember that later on when you are going to communicate with the elders, with your lecturers, with your boss later on when you go out and work, you have to sit for a moment and think and really prepare whatever it is that you want to send. So of course you need to ask questions like in a better way. Okay, so there are two types of questions I put here. Okay, the first one is closed questions. So these are just the quick or easy one. Okay, usually they will give you some sort of answer like yes or no, or just one or two words like have you eaten? No. Do you want to go watch a movie? What movie? The Avengers. Okay. So that one is closed questions. It will give you some sort of quick answer just to for confirm or just to confirm. Like you see the as I put there. Okay, do you enjoy the movie? Is this a good time to talk? Okay, have you finished the report? So what I did is every time I call my colleagues especially, okay, when I call them, I will say, hello, boleh cakap? Hello, are you free? Like that. Okay, even if I'm calling them, I will ask them, are you okay? Are you okay to talk? Something like that. Alright. So you here, okay, in close questions, you probably got simple answers like yes or no, like that, okay, but that's fine, okay, because you are just like checking facts or just want to confirm about something. Okay, but close questions don't really give you some uh a lot of room to talk about. Okay, they're like, closed door. You ask, they answer, and that's it. But for open questions, it is a whole different story. So open questions usually invite somebody else to share more. Okay, so it invite elaboration, and they can create for other person to lead you to richer conversations. Okay, so instead of you just asking yes or no questions, you try something like what parts of the movie that you like, rather than you just ask, was the movie okay? Just ask what part of the movie that you like. So what do you feel about our conversation just now? How do you feel? Okay, or when you are working on your assignment, what are the challenges that you found? Okay, so of course you see the difference. The questions are almost the same, okay, right and left. Okay, but the way you ask them will give you different answers based on what you ask. So if you want to try to understand other people better, to connect with somebody, you can try to ask more open questions. Okay, so that is why in a relationship, especially if you are just discovering relationship, like when you want to start a friendship or a romantic relationship, okay, so you have to do like open questions a lot so that you can discover about each other better. Okay, next is conflict resolution. Uh, so we have to be real that conflict is in everywhere. Even even you are very close with your siblings, you are very close with your sister, very close with your brother, very close with your parents, of course conflict will happen. Okay, even simple thing also conflict will happen. So disagreements is always going to happen. So what you should do is, of course we cannot avoid like conflict completely, because that is impossible. So what we can do is we handle that particular conflict with care, with respect, as well as with understanding, so that we can actually grow together. We can grow stronger, and we can like resolve that conflict peacefully, so that we can like stay, or maybe we can make our relationship better, not just to be what do we call, not to lead everything further apart, like that. Okay, so there are a few steps that you can use to help you deal with the conflict in a healthier way, rather than just being angry. So you can do all of these things when you face some sort of conflict. So first, before you say anything, you pause and breathe. Okay, so take a deep breath, let your body calm down a bit. So when we feel upset, angry, or hurt, of course our heart will be like the heart rate will like go very up, like very fast, right? Will go up, and then our brains will start to focus on defend mode, like that. Okay, when we are in that state, of course it is very hard for us to think clearly, let alone to say something that is good, something that is helpful. So of course we will say something that is not good. So of course you just give yourself a few seconds. So make a small pause. It can make a very difference in how the conversation goes. So even in Islam, okay, there's a teaching, okay, when people say like this, if you are angry, if you feel angry, if you are standing, sit down. Uh, If you heard this one. If you are standing, sit down. If you are sitting down, you lie down. Uh, if even after you lie down also you cannot do anything, you go and take your wudu. You know, so these teachings are actually asking you to just relax and pause a bit. So there's a reason for that. Okay, even when you go and take your wudu, it calms you because the water is like cold, okay, and put several places here and there, so it calms you down. So that is why you can do that particular effort in order for you to relax a bit, pause a bit. Okay, next you use I statements. So when you are ready to speak, try to use the I statements instead of just blaming or pointing to other person. Okay, you are in the wrong, so we don't want to do that. So instead of saying like, you never listen to me, you always do this, you are always in the wrong. So try something else like, okay, uh, I feel I feel like you are not listening to me. So you use I. Even though you are you are pointing to what that person did wrong, but you are saying I. I feel like you are not listening to me. I feel empty. I feel lost when you are with somebody else. For example, when you didn't text me, I feel lonely. Like that. Okay. So why does this I statement matter? Okay, because it focuses on how you yourself feel, not by only attacking on somebody else. So of course it can reduce defensiveness, okay, and it will help the other person to hear your message without getting their guard up. So the goal here is to be honest, not just to say things just to hurt that other person. Okay. The third one is you listen to understand. So as I said before, listening is the most important thing, but it is the hardest part to do. Okay. You have to listen, not argue. Okay? But when you want to listen, you want to really understand about that other person's side. Okay, so you have to ask yourself what they are feeling right now. Okay, what they are trying to say, what they are trying to convey. Not just the words they are sending you, but what they are really feeling. Okay, so even if as I said before, even if you are not agreeing with that person, okay, you try to see things from their perspective. Okay, so of course, that small effort can go a long way toward building trust as well as to de-escalating tension. Okay, remember the story I told you just now about A and B? So as I said, even though I am not agreeing with what A had done, okay, whatever he did was wrong, but when I think back, I have to view his viewpoint also. Maybe he write that bad things on his his social media, maybe because somebody else keep on saying something bad about B. Like maybe B said something bad about A, things like that. So sometimes we have to understand why that person is behaving that way. So not just to put blame on them, but try to understand. Okay, it doesn't mean that you want to what do we call, you want to like you want to say that whatever they are doing is correct, but you just want to understand. Okay, next one is to seek common ground. So here we have to try to find something, anything, okay, that both of you agree on. So that is what common ground means. Okay, it can be a shared objective, like when you want to do assignments, right? So let's say you have an argument with your group members. You want to do this topic. He or she wants to do that particular topic. So you sit together and you discuss. Okay, both of us want to do different topics, but what the lecturers want from us? So you sit together and then you discuss. Okay, the lecturer is actually want this thing. So okay, I think actually your topic is better. So that is why you have to find your same goal, so same objective. So that is what the common ground means. You have to find something that both of you can agree on. It reminds that both of you are not enemies. Okay, that you are both teammates, that you are trying to like finish your job, finish something, okay, do your assignments and to work something out. All right, the last one is to collaborate on solutions. Okay, so here we work together to come up with solution that is work for both of you, not only for one person, but both of you. So here you can start to ask, okay, so we have found our solution, okay, we have solved our problems. What can we do better next time? What can we do differently next time? Okay, what can help both of us to feel heard and respected? So of course, this one, when you do this, you can turn your conflict into collaboration. Okay, it is no longer about winning or about being right. So it is about creating a way forward that honors both of you, both sides. Okay, so of course, you have to remember that conflict is not always a bad thing. It can actually brings people together if it is handled in a right way with kindness, with patience, as well as empathy, as I said just now. So it is not about avoiding hard questions or hard conversations. It is also about learning to go through them in a way that brings understanding instead of bringing damage. So of course you have to be calm, okay, take a deep breath, and then you have to be honest, and then you have to listen. So that is all it takes to start changing the way we handle our conflict, right? Let me check the time, yeah. Okay. So next one is about challenges. So this is something that we use every day, digital communication. So right now we don't only speak, or we're not only communicating like face to face, but we also use digital communication a lot. Okay, we texted every day. Even what we are doing right now also is considered digital, because you are there in Indonesia and I am here in Malaysia. Okay, still we can do some sort of session. We can do a lecture. I can send my information to you and you can receive it. So that is what it means by digital communication. Wait, let me drink my water first. All right. So, the example that I can give you is maybe you are texting like your WhatsApp, your Telegram, okay, with your friends, or messaging, texting, emails, okay. Everything is very, very convenient. We can reply and respond from anywhere, like anytime. As long as you have internet, then you're good to go. So it is fast, it is easy, and for a lot of us, it is our main way to stay in touch with people. Okay, let's say you have a family member, maybe your brother or sister, or your father, your mother who is working offshore. Okay, or your brother, your sisters, your friends who are studying overseas. So that is the only way for you to connect with them. Okay, so you have to remember that even though it seems convenient, it seems easy, digital communication also comes with challenges. Okay, so it is good for like updates like, hi, how are you, okay, what are you doing right now, but digital communication, in my opinion, it is not good for like deeper conversations. Okay, sometimes in digital communication also it makes things like more confusing. Okay, for example, if I am doing my job and we are having meetings, right? Maybe through Zoom or Google Meet. So when we are having our meeting and let's say something serious came out, so we'll be like, okay, let's not talk here. We'll meet to discuss this matter. Because sometimes more serious things we cannot discuss like remotely. We have to like sit in front of each other and really discuss. The same thing when you have problems. This also happens to one of a person that I know. Okay, that person have argument with her husband at that time. Okay, have argument with her husband. Her husband is actually like uh working in another city. So when they have arguments, okay, I was with my friend because we were in the car. So when they have argument, like talking in the phone, and then they just put down, and my friend said to me, okay, can you send me to train station? Okay, and then I asked why, because I need to go and see my husband. So I was like, I thought you already settled just now. And she said, yeah, both of us said okay, but I know inside my heart it is not okay unless I go and meet him. So I sent my friend to the train station. Okay, because even though when they talk on the phone, it seems like the conflict has been resolved, but my friend still wants to go and meet her husband like face to face. Because they just argued, right? So maybe just to make things like really settle, or just sometimes when we want that person, it is more than just a phone call, or it's more than just video call. We need their presence. So I think all of you can relate, okay, because I believe that majority of you are staying like far away from your families, right? Even though you can um text, you can video call your parents, okay, your friends and families like all the time, but sometimes when you need your mama, when you need your father, you need your papa, you need your brother, your sister, you want to go and see them like physically. All right, so of course that is one of the challenges. Okay, so first you have to consider timing. Okay, so before you hit send, pause and ask yourself, is this the right time to send this? And whether this is the right medium or the right platform to use. So this happens a lot when we are working. Okay, sometimes when I want to ask questions that is very formal, sometimes I just take my phone and just start texting. And as I type, I think that, is it better if I send an email? So I just delete everything and send an email. So because I consider this is for work stuff and it's not like really appropriate for me to use WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp are being used like really, really vastly these days. Even Miss Novita and I are also communicating through WhatsApp. We never email each other. Okay, but sometimes there are things that we need to go through email as well. Okay, so before you hit send, you have to think that whether this is the right medium or is this the right time. Okay. So next, we have to choose our words carefully. Okay, so this is like tones always gets lost in text. Okay, sometimes you are trying to tell somebody, but maybe that words that you choose sound something different. So that is why how we complement it, how we try to overcome it is by using emoticons, by using emojis and stickers, right? So that one is to support whatever it is that we are trying to send at that particular time. Okay, but sometimes, sometimes when we send something as a joke, maybe some people will read it as, like sarcasm. Maybe sometimes we think that this message is okay, it seems polite, but maybe the other person who receive it seems like, when they are looking at the text, they say, okay, you are being rude to me. So text of, the tones are always get lost, so you have to choose your words like really, really carefully. Okay, and lastly, when you write, okay, you have to slow down for a bit. Okay, so why? Okay, because you sometimes you have, as I said just now, you have to think whether this is the right medium. If sometimes like you are texting, right? You are texting with somebody. Let's say you are arguing through WhatsApp or through Telegram. You are arguing, and finally you say, "Okay, I cannot do this anymore." So you just take your phone and you just call. Right. So this happens a lot. You just go, okay, I cannot text you. I just want to talk to you. Okay, this is what. So most of the time we have to switch mediums. So of course, when we are working also, we tend to do this. Like maybe I am texting with my colleague about something, and then if he or she wants to send me documents, okay, and then she say, okay, let me email you. So this happens a lot. Same goes to you, right? Sometimes when you want to, submit your assignments, to your lecturers, you use emails or Google Form. But when you want to share the maybe the same documents among your friends, you can use WhatsApp. So you have to know when to switch mediums. Okay. So basically, you have to remember that digital tools, yes, they are amazing. Okay, they help us to stay connected. Even I am connected to you right now. Okay, but they also, take away a lot of things that comes from face-to-face interaction. Okay, like there's no tone, no facial expression, as well as no body language. I believe that if we are sitting in front of each other right now in one class, I think our lecture would be better rather than we are doing it online. But this is how we can make it happen right now. So yeah, we just have to be satisfied with it. Okay, so of course when it really matters, whether it is, it's emotional, if you are being sensitive, okay, or if you think that your message can easily be misunderstood, you have to pause first before you send, and maybe you can switch to more personal way of talking. Okay, because you have to remember that behind every screen there is one person. It is a real person, and sometimes the best way to connect is the old-fashioned way, which is the real conversation. Okay. Okay, so next, okay, we want to build trust through communication. So of course the trust is needed in every meaningful relationship. Trust is what makes people feel safe with us. It is what that allows us to be real, to share our thoughts and feelings, and to work through challenges together. But of course, trust is not something that we can demand. Okay, it is not built overnight. It grows slowly through communication with each other, through actions, through consistency. Okay, so how do we build that kind of trust in our conversations and communications? So the first one is to have an honest expression. Here we have to speak truthfully, but kindly. Be honest all the time. Okay, so you have to remember that being honest does not always mean being harsh. Okay, it means we are sharing what is true to you in a way that is respectful and thoughtful. Sometimes, I don't think it's sometimes. I think most of the time we avoid saying what we really think because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings, right? Or when we say something like uh without thinking, when we are saying something bluntly just like that, and we end up like hurting that person. We end up damaging the trust. All right, so you can say something honest like, why did you tell me? Why did you invite me to that party? Okay, why did you only invite our other friends? You did not invite me, for example. You just be honest. Okay, so instead of you just say, okay, you don't want to be friends with me anymore. That's why you don't invite me, so you can be honest, but choose words that can give you like better outcome from that. Okay, so what I can say is you have to tell the truth, or you have to be honest with some sort of compassion, so that you can keep on building your trust. Okay, the next one is reliability. Okay, you have to do, you say what you will do. Okay, so this one is very simple but very powerful, which means you have to follow through. Okay, if you say that you are going to be there, you have to be there. You show up. If you say that you are going to be there at 3, be there at 3. If you promise to keep something, like maybe your friends tell you about his secret, so make sure that you keep their secret, because you have already promised. Okay, if you said that, okay, if you need help, I will help you. Okay, so if he or she asks you for help, of course you have to help them. Okay, so every time you keep your word, okay, you are putting like another brick in that particular foundation of trust. So every time you don't keep your word, even for small things, of course the foundation uh will get shakier. Okay, and finally your trust, your building of trust, will be shattered. So people usually trust those who are consistent as well as dependable. So you have to show that your words mean something by backing them up with action, right? And the next one is confidentiality. So trust also means knowing that um what I share with you, you will not use against me later. Let's say I tell you my vulnerability. Okay, I tell you my secret. Okay, actually I have a weakness. Okay, my weakness is I eat a lot, for example. Okay, so as my friend, you have to, you have to understand me. Okay, you eat a lot, it doesn't matter. Okay, but later on, let's say if you want to, I want to go to a buffet, and then you said, okay, you eat a lot, right? So you sit here, you don't sit with me. Okay, because I am embarrassed to be with you, you see. So of course, this is just some sort of silly example, but it is beyond that. All right, so even though this is simple, right, but of course that person who trusts you with her or his secret, of course will feel like hurt, will feel hurt. So of course, if somebody is telling you a secret, is sharing to you, okay, opens up to you, especially about something that is very sensitive, something that is personal, of course it is a sign of trust. So it's like they are giving you some sort of something fragile for you to keep. So you have to respect their boundaries. Do not share their stories with others, okay? Or you shouldn't joke about it later on, as well as you have to keep it safe. Okay, so the respect is that if you keep quiet, I mean, if you keep their secrets, it's like, it's a way of you telling them you can trust me. Okay, so this is what we want in a relationship. Okay, and last but not least is vulnerability, like I said just now. Okay, so of course we want a lot of people, we want everybody to be real with us, but sometimes, it is hard for us to uh, admit it ourselves, be real with ourselves. Very hard. Okay, it feels very risky to open up. It feels like very dangerous for me to tell you secret, okay, or to say how we really feel, or to admit when we're unsure or struggling. Okay, so you have to remember that vulnerability will build your connection. Okay, so when we share a little bit of our weakness, when we share a little bit of ourselves, okay, gently and appropriately, of course, we will create a space for others to do the same. So there is a theory in communication, very popular, that they said that if you disclose to me, I will disclose to you. What does it mean is that if you give me a little bit of information, then I will give you the same. So both of us will give some sort of information. So this is how relationship can expand, right? So of course, you have to remember that we are just human. All of us makes mistake. All of us have our own vulnerability, right? So of course, it should be like, uh, uh, you don't need to tell like your whole life story to somebody you just know, right? Okay, even with your closest friends also you have your own secret, right? So I'm not saying that you have to share everything, but do it like step by step. Okay, stages by stages. So let it grow naturally. Okay, because as I said, trust is built in layers, one honest moment at a time. Okay, I used to have one friend before when I was a student like you in campus. Okay, we are living in residential college. So she is not my roommate. Okay, I just got to know her because I met her like in our dining area, if I'm not mistaken, and then we started talking. And one day she came into my room and she started telling like her, I don't know. I think it's quite sensitive about her relationship. Okay. So I just get to know her. Okay. But she's been telling me all of about her love relationships, about her boyfriends. Okay. Not only one boyfriend, two, three boyfriends. So for me, that is quite private. So when she does that, I was quite uncomfortable, and I was like, why are you telling me this? Okay. I'm not even your close friends. But I don't know, maybe that person at that time, maybe she wants me to, feel close to her. I don't know. Okay, maybe she just wants to fit in. Okay, but yeah, I don't think that is an appropriate thing to do for you to share. All right. So you yourself as a person, okay, as an adult, uh you have to, you just vet. Okay, you just need to take a look at what you want to share or what you want to keep. Okay, so of course, at the end of the day, trust is not only about dramatic gestures. Okay, it's about small everyday choices, how to be honest. Okay, you have to keep your words, you have to respect privacy as well as showing up. Okay, so when we communicate with truth, kindness, and consistency, of course, we can create some sort of relationships where people feel safe, and that one can lay the groundwork for relationships that last. Okay, we are almost finished, yeah? Please bear with me. Okay, so for another subtopic is about cultural awareness. I think I talked about this before. Okay, maybe to your other classmates. Okay, so when it comes to culture, it has always been overlooked. Okay, we don't realize it, but the way we speak, the way we listen, the way we make eye contact, joke, or even speak. Okay, even when we pause during a conversation, all of it comes from the culture that we are living in. Okay, and the truth is, what is normal for you might not be normal for someone else. All right. For example, I am talking to you in English, right? But I believe that some of you, most of you, a lot of you think that my the way I speak is not it's not usual. Maybe you think that okay, that person is speaking in a weird way, right? Because maybe people in your country when they speak English, they use different tones, they use different pronunciations. So maybe if you think that I am speaking like this for you, it is weird for me to speak like this. Okay. The example that I can give you is when I listen to people from Arabic countries when they speak English. Okay, for me it's unusual. Okay, I have to really focus what they are saying. Okay, the same goes when they okay, people from, let's say, from Koreans, from China, even though they speak perfect English, but I still find it difficult to understand them. So I have to really focus to understand what they are saying. Okay, so that I think that is actually on my side because I think that is my weakness because I am not used to uh you know to slangs, okay, to dialects from other countries. Okay, so of course, as I said, what is normal for us might not be normal to someone else. Okay, so of course we have to see. Okay, the first one, to recognize our cultural lens. Okay, it's about recognizing that we see the world through a unique lens. So our culture, meaning our background, our family, our language, our education, religion, okay, our environment, okay, it shapes the way we think the communication should work. Okay, let's say one day you come to Malaysia, okay, and then you see the layout of the mall, for example, or the airport. You come to the airport and then you see, and then you go to a mall, and then you go to UniMAP, for example. You come to my university, and then you see the layout and you think, okay, this is weird, okay, because it is supposed to be like that, okay, because you are so being used to something that is from your country. Okay, for example, maybe in your country, you are being thought that being direct is polite and honest. Okay, this happens a lot in Western countries, but here in Eastern countries, usually, we are being taught to reserve, to just be polite. Okay, but for them, they have to be honest. So you see, the differences in culture is very clear. It's very significant. Okay, so of course, both of those things are not different. Sorry, not different, not wrong. It is not wrong. It is just different. Okay. So, of course, the first step is saying that, okay, my way of communicating is not the only way. This is just my version. Okay. So, if you have that mindset, of course, it can open the door for you to understand others better. Okay, and the next one, what you can do is you have to learn about other perspective. Okay, so here it is not about being curious or not judgmental. Okay, so when somebody communicates differently, maybe they are more expressive, maybe they are more quiet, or maybe they stand closer to you. All right. So maybe you are not comfortable with that. Why are you standing very close to me? Okay, so you try to learn, not assume. So this actually happens yesterday, okay, during my presentation. I have a presentation where my students need to present their project. Okay, so there's this one person, not a student, okay, a staff, this one person, and is a he, okay, a man. He was standing like really close to me because I have problems with the connection with the laptop, okay. So he came and stand really close to me. So I was like, okay, I was uncomfortable, but I didn't assume anything like, okay, are you taking advantage of me? No. Okay, I was like, okay, maybe he is, maybe he thinks that he's doing a job, so he's okay standing very, very close. But if it was me, I would say, boleh tepi sikit tak? Can you just move a bit? I need to do my job. But no, he just came to my laptop and just stand here, so very close to me. But I think of it like positively, like not everybody is the same. So of course we have to be open-minded. But please do not let other person to take advantage of you also. All right. And the next one is to adapt your approach by staying authentic. So once we have recognized our lens and we have opened ourselves in other ways of communicating, the next step is for you to adjust when it is needed. So this doesn't mean that you are pretending to be somebody you are not. No. Okay, this means that you are being flexible. Okay, you are adaptable. Okay, for instance, you might slow down your speech when you are talking to somebody who is communicating in their second language. Okay. Mm, Before this, I am the one who speaks really fast. I speak very fast. I think even right now also I tend to go back into that habit. Okay, but when we talk to somebody, okay, depending on their education level, and depending on their knowledge, of course, we have to slow down a bit. When I tell you my story, okay, maybe I can use this space. And later on, when I speak, let's say to my child, who is just 7 years old, when I speak to my son, maybe I cannot use this space. Maybe I need to talk slower. Okay, the pace should be different. Okay, so sometimes we might want to soften our tone, okay, or maybe if you think that you want to joke around, okay, better not joke with that person. Maybe they will take it seriously. So sometimes also you might want to be a little bit formal when you're meeting somebody from a culture that values hierarchy and respect. For example, if you are meeting somebody from Japan, from I think China also can be considered as hierarchical country. So we usually when we meet somebody from let's say US, the US are very relaxed, right? So from the USA, so you can like shake hand and you can even call him or her by using their first name. Hi, John. Okay. Hi, Karen. Like that. But usually when people from high hierarchical country, usually you want to be very formal. Okay. Hi, Mr. Lau. Okay. Hi, Mr. Kyoto. Something like that. Okay, so of course you have to adjust, and these small adjustments show that you respect, and this can help you break a bridge between you and your other person. So you have to remember that it is not about losing our identity, it is about creating a space for both of you to connect. All right, so again, you have to remember that cultural differences is not something that you have to fear or avoid. There are something to learn from. Okay, they make our relationships richer, more colorful, and more meaningful. All right. Okay. I think this is the last slide. Okay, so the last slide, okay, is what you can do to make yourself better. Uh, so we have talked a lot about listening, about empathy, conflict, about digital challenges, about trust, okay, and culture differences just now. So it feels like a lot, but it's okay. Okay, the truth is, in becoming a better communicator, it is not something that you can learn it in one day. Okay, it is actually a journey. This is what I've been telling my students a lot. It is a journey for you to become a good communicator. So a personal, sometimes a messy, okay, sometimes a lot of conflicts here and there, but actually it is an incredibly rewarding journey. Okay, so what you can do, okay, for you to become a better communicator than what you are today is the first one is for you to do daily practice, one step at a time. Okay, you have to start small. You don't have to try everything at once. So each day you can just pick one skill to focus on. Okay, maybe today you try to like really listen without interrupting. Maybe tomorrow you can try to use more open-ended questions. Maybe later you can try to like pause before you speak your point in a disagreement. So this is what I've been telling myself. Okay, I know that I can speak a lot. So sometimes when my friends want to talk to me and they share their part of the story, I tend to jump in. I tend to, oh, I know. Oh, I used to do that too. Okay. But later on, as I grow older, okay, even though I have something to say also, and I just keep keep my patience and like I was like, okay, sabar, sabar. Dia tengah cakap, sabar. Let her finish first. So I let her finish and then I tell my part of the story. Okay, because most of the time I realize that when they want to share, it is not about me, it's about them. So I have to stay and listen. So even I am 39 years old now, almost 40, even though I am an old I can consider as old people. Even though I am older, okay, I am still trying to learn each and every single day. Okay, so of course you can do better also. Just practice. Okay, take one skill one day and then you can make yourself better. All right. So what matters here is just consistency. Okay, because if you have a steady efforts, of course, it will lead to big changes over time. So the second point there is the feedback loop. Feedback loop is what does it mean is you ask somebody who is close to you for feedback. Okay, you have to pick somebody that you trust, a friend, a sibling, maybe your partner, okay? And you say, hey, I am improving how to communicate. I am improving how to present, for example. Okay. So what is it that you think I am good at? And what do you think that I am not good at? Can you please tell me so I can improve? You know, because sometimes we cannot see our own habit clearly. Okay, the outside perspective can be incredibly helpful actually and even eye-opening. Just remember to listen with an open mind. Okay, do not be angry if they are telling about your weakness. Okay, sometimes not everything is not everybody wants to criticize us. Sometimes they just want to make us better. Okay, if you want to improve yourself, you have to keep an open mind. Uh, and last but not least is self-compassion, which means you have to be kind to yourself. Okay, the part that most people forget, which is it's okay for you to make mistakes. So communication is actually a skill that takes a lifetime to develop. You will say something wrong. Sometimes you will interrupt by accident. Okay. Sometimes you will forget to ask about how that person is feeling. Okay, it happens all the time. So when it does, okay, don't beat yourself up. So instead, you need to try to talk to yourself like, okay, that's not how I wanted. Okay, what can I learn from this? This also happens to me. Okay, sometimes after I talk to the phone, or this is usually happens face to face. Okay, after I have a conversation with somebody, and then after it ended, and I will like, why did I say that? Alamak, kenapa lah cakap macam tu tadi? Sometimes, I myself also feel that way. So, but it's okay, we learn from our mistakes. Okay, so what I can say is you can grow up from what is it that you did wrong. So of course you have to remember that every conversation that you are having, okay, even your presentation during your projects also, everything, every communication that takes place is actually a chance, a practice for you to become better. Okay, every relationship that you have is an opportunity for you to connect more deeply, be it your friends, be it your siblings, your family, be it your loved ones, okay, your romantic relationships. Every relationship is actually a chance for you to connect with other people. Okay, and every mistake, you must remember that it is a step forward if you choose to learn from it. So, of course, I would like to say thank you to you guys for showing up and you choose to grow, because even small changes in the way you communicate can lead to a big beautiful changes in your relationships as well, and in your life. So, of course, that brings us to the end of our session. Thank you for being here. And I hope that we'll be able to see each other later. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. And for our participant, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Yeah, we have three questions, Miss, from participant. Already read in the Zoom chat.
Okay, let me read it first, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, from Abdul. How can we distinguish between authentic communication and strategic self-presentation in building meaningful relationship? Okay, usually when you first know each other, okay, when you first get to know that person, you will use the strategic self-presentation. Okay, of course, you want to show only the good things about yourself or the positive things about yourself. Okay, and as I said just now, as you get to know each other better, you will start to share problems. You will start to disclose yourself. You will start to tell secrets. So of course you will start with like smallest details about yourself. Small details you start, and then later on, uh, you will go deeper. Okay. First maybe you will just share what you like. Okay, my favorite color is red. Okay, I like to eat fried chicken. That's all. Okay, that's it. So maybe after 1 month or 2 months in the relationship, maybe you will share deeper, like your family, your friends. And later on, maybe after a few years in a relationship, maybe you will share like almost everything. Right, almost everything. So depending on that nature of relationship itself. Okay, so of course for the question authentic communication and strategic self-presentation, I think it is depending on you. There are people also who are already in a particular relationship for so long, but they still do strategic self-presentation. Yes, I do have friends like that. Even in front of their husband also, I'm not saying fake. They are not faking it. It's just that how they present themselves. Okay, for example, they don't burp in front of their husband. If they want to burp, they go into the toilet. I have one friend like that. So I was like, why you don't burp in front of your husband? And she said, no, it's disgusting. My husband will think I'm like, I don't have a good habit, but burping is like natural process, right? But no, she's been doing strategic representation. And I have also another friend. Okay, I've been doing this because I researched on this. I have also another friend who when she was with us, with her girlfriends, she was like crazy lah, biasalah kawan-kawan kan. So it's like ha 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 he he hu. But when her husbands come, she became very polite. So she did strategic presentation. So sometimes we ourselves can distinguish it. All right. So Paulina asked me, how do cultural differences affect our understanding of what it means to connect through communication? Can universal skills truly exist? I believe so. If you are somebody who really study about other culture, especially if you travels a lot, of course you can understand, and you can understand other people's culture. And also I believe that universal skill exists. For example, shaking hands, salam, right? Shaking hands is very universal. It's very universal everywhere in the world. When we shake hands, we can understand that person is doing some sort of connection. It's sign of friendship, sign of commitment, some sign of a relationship. Okay, so even though in certain cultures they don't really practice shaking hands. Sometimes they do this. Okay, sometimes they rub their nose together. Okay, sometimes they do other things to show introduction, or to show relationship, or to show connection. But I believe that everywhere in the world, if you shake their hands, it means one thing. So of course, not everything can be universal. Okay. That is why I said even my gesture like this. Okay, this means in Malaysia this means good. I believe in Indonesia also means the same thing. But maybe in other countries this one can means, I don't know, something else. In Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Brazil. This gesture is considered obscene. You cannot go there and do this sign. The same goes with this one. Not in every country you can do this. So of course you have to like really learn their culture for you to really understand. Uh, so of course, if you do not know, you ask. I've been telling you just now. We can keep on asking questions. Is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? Okay. A few months ago, I went to Thailand. I need to do one presentation. Okay, because I cannot speak and I cannot read Thailand language. So I presented my slides in English, and then I put a thank you in Thai character. But that one I Google. But because I cannot understand what it means by that, so I sent that particular figure to my friend who can speak Thailand. So I asked him, is this okay if I want to say thank you? Is this the right way to say thank you in Thailand? So he said to me, okay, you can do this, but this is like informal. Use this one instead, you know? So that is how you can like really learn and connect with other people from other culture. All right, and the last question, can digital communication ever fully replace face-to-face interaction in developing deep, meaningful connection? Why or why not? The answer is, I think it is depending on you, what you want and what you need from your partner. Okay, if you have a long distance relationship, so of course you have to rely on digital communication like 90% of the time. But as I said just now, even if you connect with each other digitally, once or twice at least, of course you want to go and meet together, right? So I'm not going to say that it can replace it. What I believe it's supplement. It's supplement. So I'm not saying that you can depend on digital communication 100% in order for you to sustain your relationship, but of course it can strengthen your communication. Like what we are doing right now. Yeah, I believe that all of my knowledge has been transferred to you, like maybe not 100% successfully, but maybe at least yeah, well, later on, if you want to study, you can take a look at the video, okay? And then maybe at one time, maybe you can get 100% from it. So I think that is all. Any other question? If there's no question, I think that is all. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Novita.
Yeah, thank you so much for your answer. Yeah, before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one. One, two, three. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Dr. Adila Ismail for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future with University Malaysia Perlis. The visiting lecture for today and yeah, we hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.